So this is the very first time we log in, and we want to have a check on what is the EULA. International, released February 1st, 15. This is old. Limited use. Limited use license. Subject to your agreement and continuing compliance with the RSI terms. Germany. Yeah, we accept. And here again, acknowledge. Gameplay is presently available as an early access alpha version in a state of active development. Whatever in the live environment or PTU bugs, service interruptions, resets, or errors may occur. And yeah, starting out in the verse, at the first time when you start the game, launch the game, then you will need to click on Persistent Universe, and here you will create your character. You can choose between a female character and a male character. Yes, there is only two. And we will choose a male character, and we already designed the character, so we will load the character into it. That will be Jack the Miner. Looks like this. And we can, of course, change everything what we want to. We can change the noses. We can do... you can do a lot of stuff here, to be honest. And detailed, but it's tedious. But if you want to, you really can take your time in order to recreate your digital footprint or digital whatever. Or you can create something out of nothing in order to have a proper character you want to walk around inside the verse. But we already created it, so we will load our Jack. Save, and here play the tutorial. Before starting your adventure in Star Citizen, learn the basics of playing the game. Playing through the tutorial will set your primary residence to your selected starting location. So there will be a starting location. You will also be unable to access your purchased ships until you have completed tutorials. Well, which is interesting. Estimated duration. So what does that mean? We can skip the tutorial and do not get access to our purchased ships. Play the tutorial. So what can we choose? We can choose between the Stanton system, which is 1-star system. And when we choose this one, we can select from 4 different types of cities. Lorville, the capital of Hurston, and the corporate headquarters for the eponymous weapons manufacturer. Lorville is a company town with a population predominantly comprised of Hurston Dynamics employees and the security forces that supervise their labors. More interesting. So that also means their labors are also here. It's basically a slave state. Orison, located high above the clouds, Orison is built upon the military constructed lattice work of inhabitable floating platforms which Crusader Industries uses to manufacture their large-scale ships. The shipyards themselves are famously beautiful and have made Orison a prime tourist destination in the Stanton system. So we want to be minor. This is not our thing. Area 18. Area 18 is one of the main commercial ports for interplanetary traffic in the surrounding region Arcop. Travelers can find a variety of goods from trusted names as well as local providers, if they are not overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of this landing zone. Yeah, the sounds of this landing zone. So Area 18 is pretty loud, but we do not commercial. We are not in trading. New Babbage, built to keep the world's freezing temperatures at bay. New Babbage is a luxurious city with top-class amenities and domed open spaces designed to inspire the creativity and productivity of the cutting-edge companies and tech firms drawn here by Microtech's innovative spirit. So the company is called Microtech and the planet is called Microtech. So it's basically their ownership. And this is the place where all the shillers and the soul catchers want to lead you into. But we do not like these freezing temperatures, so that's why we do not choose New Babbage. And we also do not choose Area 18 because we do not like the sounds of these landing zones. Orison, we do not go on vacation, we want to do mining. So, yeah, the slave state, concentration camp Lorville is the only one thing that comes to mind. But we can go to Pyro as well, which is the other star system implemented in 4.0. Here we can select. We cannot select. Oh, this is interesting. So as a pretty new star player, as a pretty new player, you cannot choose Pyro. You only can choose Stanton, which is pretty interesting. So Lowville, best, we can choose the region, and we also can, again, character customization. We do not need to. We play the game, set the different location. Are you sure? Oh, this is Microsoft philosophy. Always confirm whatever you do, because you are not able to make your own decisions and be reasonable on the consequences. All right, and we are in the game, and we have tutorial started. Tutorial, your first steps. On the left hand side you see the global chat. When you press F12 you can hide the global chat so you don't see the things. Bottom left we see our basic health condition. So we have good lungs capacity, so that means the air that we breathe in is good, 100%, and then you see they will vanish. That means there is no reason to to put attention to it. Then we have the water drops, that is the dehydration level, and the FVB1 is the energy level, which we need to have in focus for drink and food. So the other ship is Bengal. Yeah, that would be a dream probably. The Bengal is a potential biggest ship, and as you can see here, press F to get up. Yeah, get up. F is the interaction button, and as you can see bottom right there they say interact and look F. So we can press F and move the mouse, or press the Y key for exit. So we press the Y key and nothing happens. That is because we have a German keyboard. That's why it is the Z key, like zebra, to get out of bed. And as you can see, people are chatting in the global chat. We pressed F to get out of the bed. Now we are out of the bed. We can press F4 in order to see our character in third person. We can press F4 again and we will have a little bit wider view of the character further away. And we can press and hold Z like zebra in order to move the camera around our character with our mouse. And we also can scroll out while pressing and holding. Let's see if we can do that. Maybe not, because yeah. Pressing and holding F4 while scrolling will zoom in and out. So we can have a view of our character. And F4 with the asterisk, the star key, will reset this view again. So then we can see here there is a storage access terminal. Touch to start, and we touch it with the F key like we do basically everywhere. And for some reason it doesn't work. Yeah, this is early access. It has a huge amount of latency. So now we are in the storage access terminal. You cannot see it, but on the left side we see the personal inventory. Everything what's on our body is basically listed on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we see the local inventory that we can access through these terminal. You can drag and drop items from left to right, from bottom to top. It doesn't matter. Whenever you have an item inside your armor or on your armor, for example like this, we can drag and drop these items into the local inventory. or from the local inventory onto our character. For example, like this, here you see these blue markers. That means you can put the arms onto your arm. So you can quick equip, that means double clicking, or you can click and drag like we just did. And close inventory is pressing I. So this is interesting, I for inventory, but to go into the inventory you need to press F. So that means you will need to lift up your fingers from the keyboard if you want to enter the inventory like this, and press I to exit the inventory like this. And here we can see there is a helmet. That would be probably our helmet because we do not wear a helmet right now. So we will take that in our hand, like pressing F. And then we see the helmet in our hand. Bottom right, you see left click for equipped, right click for store. Right click for store, doesn't work. Left click for equipped, press F4, and we see we got our helmet on our body. All right, so then we got a coffee machine over here, but do we have a cup? Do we have a cup? F for open. We got some plates, and here are some coffee mugs. So we will try to take one of these mugs if we can. With right click, mouse movement, you can turn around the camera while having the inventory window open, but we cannot grab a cup of coffee here. So, oh, look at that, we got a carry. Again, pressing F to carry, but you see the triple dots down there, so press and hold F, that opens up the wheel. Here you can choose the star carry, which is what you just saw. You can store, that means you will store the burrito inside your armor. And here the water goes the same. We can this one and click inspect. So we take the object in our hand and we can have a look. And bottom right, you will see we cannot drink right now because we wear a helmet. Makes sense, right? So if we want to drink that water, we would need to press left alt and H. We do that. And the helmet is gone because it is now basically attached to the hip. We cannot see it, but it is. This is a so-called video game after all. So now we can drink, as you can see, bottom right. Press and hold, left key is drink, and just clicking is a sip. So we take a sip. Wait, just take a sip. You can click to stop. Okay, so 95% of water. We can click once more. Just a click. Okay, drinks it all. Now we are on 100% hydration. Now left click is place. Click and hold. Gives you an outline where to place the bottle. Yeah, and now we can carry the bottle again. If we just click place, it comes up again. Sometimes you can throw the bottle, but we will place it. We do not take an empty bottle with us, but we see here an interaction button. Yeah, interaction button. And here we can sit. As you can see, F is the one key that will warn out immediately when you play Star Citizen for too long. Press Z again to get up, like from the bed. And when we walk pretty slow, which is a normal walking speed. And what is this? Toilet, bath. Here in first F4, we can see our character moving. And second F4, we still can see our character moving. So can we interact with toothpaste? No, but here is something we can open. Oh, soap. Here is something we can open. Toilet. Oh no, a squared toilet. What? Shower. A sink and a mirror that doesn't work. All right, so walking, we can scroll up, scroll wheeling, and we walk faster. Press F and we will leave our habitation. And this is the view to Lowell Spaceport, TISA Spaceport. We completed first outing. All right, so we got a yellow mission marker. And as you can see, shadows, this is fast walking. Scroll down, slow moving. We need to go upstairs to the elevator. Yeah, we try to walk fast here. Call the elevator. It is pretty laggy. Okay. Now we connected another mouse. We go to press and hold. You can scroll down here on the terminal. Ground floor. It takes a while to go to the ground floor, but once there, we can exit. Scrolling works. Doesn't do anything. All right. So we are heading to the city, to the next marker. View the map. So this is Lowell. And as you can see, the air looks like polluted. And you see here how they trashed their stuff. And we only have 83% of lung capacity due to the pollution here. And there should be a sign. Yeah, there. Air quality bad. Industrialization progress. And this is the map of L19. Where are we? The yellow marker. We just came from here, the residences. Work down here, and we are now. And over here is the admin office. We do not need to go to the admin office. We do not get, no, we go to the man and sons. Yeah. So it means left, a little bit to the right, left, right, something like this, right? And here is the Maria Pure of Heart, the hospital. We do not need to. But the metro center is interesting because we need to go to Spaceport line, the blue line. Where is our ship? So we go to the yellow marker. Oh yeah, over here would be the admin office. Down here is the man and son. Let's see, what do we have? We basically have nothing on us. Not even a gun. We do not have even a gun. All right. That is the marker. All right. Then the man and sons. Yeah, they lead us to the man and sons. With sprint, pressing left shift, you can sprint even faster. And here we can buy something. Use kiosk again, pressing F. Top right, you see the amount of money we have. For some reason, we have 70k to start with. Check the miner is our username. And here we can buy. What do we need? We want to. First outing. We want to utility. We want to find mining laser heads. This would be interesting, but we do not want to find personal weapons. Ammunition, but we want to buy a multi-tool, 450, and we also want to have a tractor attachment that is approximately 1,000. This is the kiosk to buy stuff, and outside are storage access terminal as we saw before in our habitation. Here we can use this one, then we can drag and drop the item we just bought onto our hip, or we simply double click. That means we have now the tractor beam attached to it. And now we can go to the next marker. Go up. Marker. Where do we need to go? Over there. Here we also have signs. Follow for admin office, residence, metro center. We go to the metro center. Admin center. Over here. Yeah, this whole place is physicalized, so you really walk around within that space. Here's another map. Do we see where we are? You are here, the red one. We came from here, the residence. Went down here to Tram and Sun. Now we are back up here, and we will go to Metro Center. Metro Center, Blue Line Spaceport. 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 Ooh, the tram is here. Hurry, hurry. Wee, that was another player. Here inside the tram we see departing in 5. Metro Center, Blue Line. Are we at Metro Center right now? Yeah, we are going to TISA Spaceport. And this train...
Next stop, TISA Spaceport.
TISA Spaceport is over there. And as you can see, we move within that virtual realm. A little bit jitty. We have 20 frames per second. Report suspicious behavior. Yeah, Stasi in Lorville, like we said. Slave state. Concentration camp. TISA Spaceport. Exit. Exit. LaSalle. Vote centralist. Yeah. Unity now. Progress.
Trespassing or attempting to trespass on train tracks is a serious...
The outsider's insider. Universalist. Alright. Here and again, a map. We are now at TISA Spaceport. And we came the blue line from the Metro Center. We moved this way. And now we follow German Shepherd. Stop, think. Yeah, stop, think. Just work. Education leads to innovation. Okay. Propaganda everywhere. Building the future. We can't do it without you. Yeah. That gives us power. Here, justice, fines, and citations, payment. So, if we get fined, yeah, if we feel fined, we need to pay. If we feel too comfortable, we need to pay. Citation, when they call us, then we have to pay. Yeah, this is, hey, what's going on here? A lot of people now entering Terminal 5. Retrieve tutorial ship. Alright.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
We got the fish.
Please visit us again. Goodbye. Please visit us again.
Over here. Space station. No. Trains, toilets, commercial flights. Oh, commercial flights. But we will go into a hangar. Or the elevator. That took a while. Check the minus hangar. Medium. Why do we have a medium hangar? Alright, this is our hangar and Ship is not here. We need to call the ship here.
Welcome.
Fleet
to the
Manager,
ASOP
the only
vehicle
ship we
retrieval
have. We
system.
have 2 hours and 22 minutes time to
Vehicle,
complete
your vehicle has been
this
cleared to
tutorial.
deploy.
They said it will take 30 minutes. Here you can see storage access terminals, as we know from before. So these storage access are localized. That means here in Lorville we can use any of these storage access terminals, and we will have access to all the stuff that is here in Lorville. There's the freight elevator. Here we can retrieve boxes. Use the terminal, pressing F of course, lower the elevator. Left side is the elevator, right side is the warehouse. So once the elevator is down, we can basically move items from left to right. But because we do not have anything down here yet, that means these right side is empty. But if we would have stuff, we can drag and drop items from the warehouse to the elevator and raise the elevator. So over here, this is our tutorial ship. It's a small one. It's would be an easy starter ship as well. 60 or 70 bucks or something. Here's the button, open. Pressing F of course, and now we get in. And here we see the interior of the ship. Here we have capacity for boxes here as well. We can close the door. Yeah, laggy, but it works. Here are some component stuff, cargo boxes. There is a seat for a passenger, a second seat, so it's a 3-seater if you will. And here no interaction, but we can enter pilot seat. Board the tutorial ship, prepare for takeoff. Now once in the ship, bottom right, we can power on U. Basic controls, turn on the ships holding F and find flight ready button, or press Alt R. Press and hold flight ready button. So they are basically physical buttons which you can press. So let's say press and hold F, move the mouse, and then you will see all the buttons there are. Here we can say open exterior. Pressing F4 for third person view and the door will open. This is how that works. We close exterior. Alright, we pressing U for power on. Then pressing I for thrusters. And as you could see on the left hand side, something changed. Now strafe up, space, strafe down, left control. So when we press I again, that turns off engines. I again, engines on. So we do full power to engines, power management. Here we can distribute the available power of the power plant to specific components we have built in, and depending on what components or where you direct the power to, that will have an impact on the ship's behavior. For example, here we got 15k heat, 7.9k power, and something else we do not know, cross-section emission, 7.1k. So that means this is the indication from what distance other players may see us through the radar. When we lower the power on engines, that number goes down. That goes down. Alright, so here we got the self status, the status of the ship itself. We see all 4 shields around the ship. We also see where the groups are, the gun groups, and here the target if we target something, and here ready scan when we scan the ship. In the middle we see here the mode we are in, SCM. The gun mode stands for slow citizen mode. When we press B, we can switch to nav mode, which is navigation mode, quantum travel active. And down here, ESP coupled and all that. Here we see the fuel stand. We now have 99% H fuel because we already turned on the engine. That's why it goes down. We didn't do quantum travel, still 100%. This is the icon for the gear is down. Here is the speedometer, how fast we travel in meters per second. Here we got the afterburner indication. Now we have 100% capacity of afterburner. When we press shift, it's like speeding on walking is speeding on the ship, and we see afterburner is active. How does that look like from the outside? When we switch, afterburner. Okay, and then we got the altimeters in kilometers, how the elevation is from the ship relative to the zero ground. Here we see the G-forces and the direction of the G-forces on us. We got decoy and noises, not that much. Relative altitude to the ground, yeah. This is the absolute zero to the planet, and this is relative to the ground, so we are basically 1 meters elevated. And VSI, don't know, Atmo is the pressure of the atmosphere, which is really interesting. So power is on, we strafe up this base that goes up, and you see this wiggling stuff. Yeah, we can press and hold N for auto land, and ship will go down and lands properly. We can strafe up again. We can press left control to do it manually, yeah, not that smooth. And strafe up again. We can press N, short press, for gear up. Gear up. Alright, so how do we get out of the hangar? We need to press left control N. No, like control is lower, left alt N, and the hangar door is opening. We strafe up, gear up, and we can move the ship's nose, mouse up, mouse down, mouse left, mouse right, and when we press Q and E, we roll the ship, and the WASD key moving forward. And here again, F4 for switching third-person view. Press and hold Z to change the view, and here we see another ship. We can target. We can target. And we see the ship's information. And here we got a bigger ship. We see the velocity of the ship. We see the relative velocity to our ship. We see in what faction the ship is and the target in a little bit. Now, this ship is basically out of order. We can press V to switch to scan mode, as you can see. The HUD information changes, and now we can scan the ship with pressing and holding the left mouse button. And you see down there the blue active scanning is ongoing. 75, 87%, and here we see the scanning information of the ship. Here we see what kind of ship is in front of us. Here we see the signature, what we also have here on our side. And then when we scroll down, yeah, this is the most impressive advantage. Having a scrollable touch panel in a space game. Here we see the components built into that ship. And here we see if the ship has cargo, it has nothing, and there's also no pilot in it. So we can press V again to exit the scan modus. Now we can switch to nav mode. As you can see to the right, we press B, switches to nav mode. Navigation. To fly fast and use quantum travel, swap to nav mode by holding down whatever key you have bind. This will disable your ship weapons and shields. This is interesting to notice. Yeah, when you are nav mode, all the power goes to the navigation mode quantum drive. That means you do not have power enough in that ship to activate shields or weapons. So now you can see we are now 22 kilometers above ground, and relative altitude would be 27. Meanwhile, as you can see, we're speeding with 4 Gs, but also with 1144 meters per second. That is the current speed we are in. And up there you see is a space station, and we are heading towards that. And once up here in space, you do not really see the speed we are in. So you can fly with 1100 meters per second, and there you see the distance to our destination decreasing. Here you can see how fast we actually are, but even like we said, it feels like as if we are pretty slow because there's no relative indication to where we are heading to or the speed we are in. It's like if you're running a truck, a big cargo truck on the highway and drive 100 miles per hour, it doesn't feel the same speed as if you do the same 100 miles per hour in a Formula 1 car, right? Because you are closer to the ground, you see how the objects passing by. Now you can see here the fuel state is now 96% fuel state. We can jump while clicking left mouse button, click and hold, and we jump to the destination. And here we missed our marker. We should have gone somewhere else. Which checkpoint? So the problem is we cannot go back directly. We need to jump to the planet first, point to the blue marker, which is an active point. Once calibrated and ready, we can click and hold. We jump there, and then we will go back to Lowville in order to complete this tutorial. And now we are jumping. This is Lowville from above. Today, relative good weather, sunny, not much clouds over the city. Alright, so with WASD you can move forward but also sideways. You do not see it here, but you see this thing here. This little indication shows you where your spaceship literally moves towards to in a physicalized sense. So even if you point down to the reach checkpoint, we still have a left drift to the ship until we correct that with pressing WASD. So that would be a kind of drift. Sometimes you see it with the contrail behind us where the ship is actually going, but here we do not have. So we just complete this tutorial right now. We go through this marker, we fly into it. Bam! Did it. Next marker. Ooh! Wee, this ship flies weird. It is small, like a nutshell if you will. And here we can point towards it, and as you can see to the right hand side here, the afterburner is refilled at 100. We can press shift, and down here you see how the increasement of the speed is and decrease when we release the afterburner. Now we are on 315, increasing because we are flying upwards. That means atmosphere is lower. That gives us an increase of speed and decrease in pressure. And as you can see, the pressure of the atmosphere is here. It goes down. The pressure of atmosphere goes down the more we fly upwards. And the fastest speed would be, of course, 90%, 90 degrees. Here we have an angle of 15 degrees upwards relative to the ground. And quantum drive is already online, so we can jump. As you can see, there are blue markers everywhere, but there is also a red one. And the red one is we cannot reach because the quantum fuel tank is too little, or we do not have enough quantum fuel. But the quantum fuel is at 100%. That means the fuel tank is too small in order to jump there. So now we are here, quantum to Everest. We did reach Everest. Here again, wait until calibration is done, and then we press afterburn to speed up. After you reached maximum speed, you can not increase more while pressing. And here you see entering combat zone, and 10 kilometers 10 kilometers and below, you can call ATC in order to get a hangar. Turrets, don't fly into the turrets. With Alt scroll, you can adjust the speedometer. And then once inside the hangar, press N for lower the gear, left control to lower, or press N, hold N for auto land. We open the door, press Y key to exit. And then they say store the tutorial ship on Everest Harbor. So we go to the terminal over here.
Welcome to the
We store
ASOP
the ship
vehicle
as
retrieval
we've
system.
been told. Doesn't work.
Please
Go
visit us
back.
again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP. Your
Door.
vehicle has been moved to our store. Please visit us
Yeah.
again.
Now you can see how the ship stores. Don't fall down. We forgot to turn off the engines. Yeah. Okay. Check your journal. Press F2. Here you can see the map. F2 goes directly to the map, but usually you probably would press F1 in order to open up the mobiGlas. The mobiGlas is the thing, basically the smartphone, just in modern days. Here you can see all relevant information, contracts, active contracts that's going on, some notification, hangar request completed, leaving armistice zone and whatnot. Here, this is the jurisdictional area. We are on the Hurston Dynamics law and the crime stat. If we do something they don't like, so then they do fines or citations. This would be the thing. If we have an increase to 3, crime stat 1, crime stat 2 does nothing, have no consequences. It will cost you a lot, but you do not need to pay. But crime stat 3, that means you are hostile to everybody. That means space station like Everest doesn't give you any hangar anymore. You cannot refuel, and they will attack you because you are hostile to them. So they will attack you, defend the station basically. And you can go to Grimhex, which is the only one station that you can land there as a criminal in Stanton. That's it. Yeah, you can go to jail if you want to zero out your crime stat, or you can go to Carrier, the security outpost, to hack into the terminal in order to clear your crime stat. Here we got ammunition on the ship. We do not have that one, so not important. Environment is like the 1G that we have here on the station. We are safe in the atmosphere. Sometimes you will see, like in Lowell, there will be a reduction. Heart pressure, something, it's all good. And the external temperature, 20 degrees, is pretty okay. and this is the radiation level, all blue and green, all good. Here on the right side we see if we have any injuries to our body, full health, full body temperature, a normal heartbeat rate, oxygen and drug level at 0. Health, here we have the detailed information, just a little bit different displayed. In the comms, you will see the global chat. This is what we said before. We turn it off for tutorial purpose. Here we see the ships, where you can communicate through the ship's communication channel. Here you will see all the players are available on this chart where you are on. You can right click to anybody and can invite a party or invite to a channel or even send a friend request if you like to. So they will get a request and they can accept or not. Here on the friends list, you will see when you're close enough, that means 10 kilometers and closer, you will see the stations you are approaching as friends and you can call them in order to open up the hangar. That works if you are in a ship or any vehicle for that matter, and pending all the requests you will get. So when we would get a friend request or party invite, we will see that here as well if we missed it. Here we can turn on and off the audio channel. That means we can now talk to anybody that passes us in-game. That would work. And here we can see detailed information about what kind of channels we want to select, like global chat is for us the yellow one. And as you can see, the global chat colors changed. And if we would have a party and we have a party chat, we can arrange another, let's say the ship here, the ship we do not have any communication, is red, it would appear red, and the global chat here. And if we would have a party chat, we can change the color to the party chat so that at the end, when you have the visor on, like this, you see what kind of message which channel used. What else do we have in the mobiGlas? Contracts. In the contracts, you will see now we only have the tutorial, but once we are done, we will see here all sorts of contracts available. Salvage, most of them needs to have a ship, a salvage ship. Hauling needs to have a hauler. Basically, the first contract does not, but we need to be able to carry 10 boxes of 1 SCU size. And if we do not have a ship that will fit that, then escalate. Earning such accolades as Imperial Finance's top 10 shipping companies and Delivery Digest, most trusted. So it would be worth to do that while Foundation Festival is active, because that would give us some extra bonus. And if we do not have the capacity to transport 10 SU, then we fly twice. Mercenary is this one is flight school, so you do ship combats in a training situation. Here you see the contractors on the other side. High point wilderness specialists, so you can reduce overpopulation of some sorts of animals on that planet we are on. Foxwell enforcement is also some sort of ship combat, but this one is not. This is a general mercenary contract on ground, on foot, on a location, on Earth. Person Dynamics itself also offers some mercenary contract. Halt illegal surveillance. There's something you need to destroy around a Camare. Security contractor evaluation. They want to find out if you are suitable for further contraction. And this is nice. So this is HDSF Millerand. And this one is also at Millerand. You can take both contracts at the same time, so you will get 60k if you complete, of course, but you only fly once to Millerand and do both contracts at the same time. So you save travel time. And if you do active bounty hunting, that means player bounty hunting, you can call to arms. That means that gives you 500 extra bucks if you find a player with an active crime stat. Even crime stat 1 counts for that matter. Then bounty hunter, what do you have? Bounty hunters guild. Here you can do like the permit. Here the North Rock is the player bounty hunter, like Ne Plus Ultra is the player that has a bounty on. So if we find him, if we find him and eliminate him, apprehend him, Send him to jail. That will give us 151k. Oh, there are plenty of criminals out there. All right. And the collection, the Vicolo, is the so-called alien dude who wants to have something to exchange here. He's a trader. And interest in building a better future, Variari. So they want to have 20k copions and give us 70k for that. This is the contracts available, and there is an unverified tab. Here you have a limited amount of contracts available, also different contractor. Not all of them have a reputation system, we will see that afterwards, but some of them do. But as you can see, unverified, they are a little bit better paid, but if they happen in Stanton, and they do, you are on the surveillance of UEE. That means if you complete this contract, you need to expect to get crime stat in order to accomplish, complete this contract. Not all of them, but some of them, especially one. One is famous for doing illegal stuff. That means you will get crime stat if you do any one missions, and the other ones probably. And here you see the accepted. Here you see the progress of your contract. Here you see the contract details. Always read that. Find out where in the contract are the relevant information you need to know. And history is, if you completed some contracts, you will see them here. Maps, as we showed you here, with right click you can move lateral, left click you can rotate, orbit. And here you see there is a door of the hangar. This is the pad we're standing on. This is the hangar pad where we just lowered the ship. Here we see the elevator, and then you can scroll and you move out, scroll further, and then you see the whole Hurston system. And now here you see change. Step back, press 4. Of course, does not work. Oh, it works now. F4, here we see the whole Stanton system. Before it was just the Hurston system. Go to selection, press 3. Does that work? No. Press 2. Yes, that works. And we go to Hurston. Press 2 again. Nothing had. Press 1. So this would be more or less an easy way to move around. Here, set or Y key. You see the detail level and to my location where we are. All right, so this is the map. And if you scroll out even further, or press 4 for that matter, we can go from Hurston out of Stanton, and even further away, we also would see the pyro system. Double click here, and we see everything what's in there. The journal we just watched before. Here you will see some information, not now, but after a tutorial, you will see here some relevant information you can check out. The assets is the tab when it works. It does not work now, where you stored any sorts of item into it that will appear here. So after a while, you will have distributed items to whatever places, and it may appear that you do not know what kind of items you have where. Here you will see that without the need of travel there. Reputation is what we said before. Here you will see all the contractors you contracted with, and you see the reputation level to them. That means if you increase in reputation, that means they will probably give you better paid contracts, or maybe even more challenging contracts. Would make sense. And here the dossier is the dossier to that contractor. Now we don't have. Here we see the wallet. We can transact Alpha USC from one player to another player. We can type in any name. It is the username, and as you can see, it is a full text search, so you need to press the name exactly to the one player you want to. And here we see Nomadic. We can send here any sorts of amount, and 0.5% service fee, so you will pay. Let's say we will spend these 100k we have now. We would pay 100,500. We would pay, but he will receive 100,000. Yeah, this is the amount of money we have, and we haven't done anything yet. Landing is when we land the ship on the landing pad and we press landing, we can repair, restock, refuel the ship from here. And vehicles is the ship loadout. These are all the ships available from FreeFly. Yeah, so what do we need to do here? Go back to the contract. There's a burrito. As in the tutorial, you can walk over here.
Hi, welcome.
And quick buy is having the water in inspection mode. We can store it. Now it's inside the armor, and press and hold makes the burrito move into the local inventory of the space station Everest Harbor, and we can see that here. Storage access terminal. We can go here and drag and drop from the local into our armor. Okay, so here we got the medical clinic. Here we can get, if it's not bugged, but it's all bugged out, so we cannot go into the medical center right now. Here we can buy med pens if we will. The red one is usually the general health, but you can buy all sorts of. They are pretty expensive, kind of, for what they are. You can buy a Paramed medical device if you want to, but we do not do that. And over here we can set the respawn point. That means regeneration location. On default, it is your primary residence of your choice. In our case, it's Lowell. We can change that to Everest Harbor. That means if we die for whatever reason, our body of the character will regenerate it here on Everest. Usually, players do that, set their regeneration point or respawn point onto a space station, because from here, from the med base over to the ASOP terminals, it's a short distance, a short walking distance, as you can see. Just move here, turn to the right, and there are the terminals. It's way shorter than from the cities taking the shuttle or the tram to the spaceport and from there to your hangar. It's pretty slow. Yeah. Every Leo station has cargo center on top of the building, or we just call it top of the building because it's top level. And here we go into the cargo services. Here on the right side, sometimes you see here weapons laying around, free guns or free money if you sell the guns. Now not. Here we also have a rental terminal, and here we can rent ships. And as a miner, we are interested in the mole. The Argo mole is the biggest mining ship available in game right now, and it costs us 230k per day. We can change that and say we want to have it for 1 week. That will cost us 1.2 mil. So one day we need to make 250k in order to be able to rent that ship for 1 day. Or we can rent the Prospector in order to be able to do mining. And this one comes with a cost of 75k per day. We already have the money, so we could rent this ship already with no ship. We are still in free flight. That means we do not have a game package. We are only allowed, we have the privilege to play Star Citizen during the FreeFly event. So what we want to have the orbit attachment, and we also want to have a backpack. Backpack is on the armor. Yeah, H stands for heavy, and it has a capacity of 53,000 micro SU, doesn't make sense, but yeah. Or 40, we will take the smallest one just because it is the cheapest, primarily. Because we want to make money first before we buy. We can buy 2 if we want to, or even more if we want to, but we don't. So zero it out once, buy 1. Both the orbit and the backpack will go to the local inventory. We can buy a multi-tool, use the search filter, multi-tool. Probably the same price like in Lowville. So we have a second multi-tool because we already have a multi-tool with the tractor beam on it. And we will have a second one with the orbit on it. And here we can see armor pieces we could buy, try on. Yeah. If it works. Yeah. This is how we would look like if we would buy these armor, but we don't. Here we got other working clothes. Yeah, service. Okay, transport guild. Civil clothes we could buy here. We don't. So 250k is the goal we need to make in order to be able to rent the mole. And over here is the storage access terminal, where we mount, double click the orbit attachment and the backpack, drag and drop. Can we drag and drop? Yes. Here you see the blue marker that indicates here we can place it. Okay, doke. Hangar